Alright, so I was just talking about how a bucket of water, right, basically like the pail of our thoughts, right? Um, I'm a little nervous with this camera, like this right now, but it's kind of like I've already done this though as well. Like I've, been on tape, been on camera, and I'm just so sweet, right? So kind of like it says, in the Bible, it says, give yourself a, you know, penny for your thoughts, right? Each time you think of a thought, give yourself credit, right, for that thought. So there's many different analogies on how to look at this from, right? How to. I'm getting triggered just now, like, oh, is this gonna look good afterwards, right? What is this video gonna look like? Am I gonna look weird? Am I gonna look crazy? Am I gonna look, there's so much saying. It's like there's so much to to these parts of you that most people aren't even aware of, right? So it's like, look, I could just blame like social conditioning, right? I could blame society, right? It's like, but it really comes from ego, competitive drives, trying to be in control too much, and it's like, why, right? Does it to people like, joy and making each other feel bad, and it's like, I think it just comes down to ego. I think it just comes down from ego. I think all of us, when it comes down to our ego, I think ego is just flawed in itself. Was how, I would theorize it as, right? It's like, because right now I've been laughing for 4 days straight, right? Every single day, like that's my job. Like I've made it my job, like number one, like for life, is to just continue to laugh about it, right? Because what so many people do is like they just get caught up in like life being so serious, and and when it's not like I'm like quote unquote crazy person, right? I'm just laughing because I don't know that I'm laughing, right? I understand, I like 100% of why I'm laughing, and the reason why is because one, I was more norepinephrine, serotonin. I think I got it in order: norepinephrine, serotonin, and then dopamine, right? To pass through. So it's like, why wouldn't you? Right? Why wouldn't you laugh more if you know every time you do it, you're increasing happier levels, right? And so that's the goal, in the moment right now. And, I've been scheduling and been on schedule, and I've read like 4 ebooks in the last month or so. So it's like, I've never read that much, like ever. Never read that, and they're audiobooks, but it's like, I'm still taking notes. It's like, it's kind of like, holy shit, like how I could do that, right? And so there's an empoweringness that comes from that, right? And it's like, it's kind of like, what are you doing to empower your own life, right? Today. And that's why I love the book of the Tao Te Ching. It's like, having power, but also, like, paraphrasing, and it's like having power, but also realizing that you don't have power, right? There's something along those lines, how it goes. And And it's so you don't get like caught up too much in what you're doing with your own ego, and kind of allows your the mind being your river, and you allow your river to kind of just be able to think in ways of abundantness. So yeah, and again, this just feel a little bit weird talking into this lens, right? Looking at it from this point of view. So there's still resistance coming up with that right now. That's the reason why I just like started talking like a little bit faster versus like just slowing it. It's like, can I just slow it down, right? Like this. Just look at the camera lens right this, right? Like right into it, right? The one shot. So yeah. So basically, what are you right now, Zach? You're basically your own director, right? And so would another person, right? If they were to do this, they would be their own director as well and actor, right? You can do this, right? Confidently, right? And that's why self-help's like the number one job, and there's so many things that like tie into it. It's not just self-help, it's like it's okay, laughing like a lot, you know? Like what a Buddhist does, right? When a monk is happy, what does he do? He just laughs about jokes all day. So now that I feel no one talks about laser focus right now, looking right down the barrel of its lens, right? It's almost like the analogy of like looking right down a gun, right? Like this, and not being afraid of it. Now, obviously, like the Tao says, you don't want to have weapons in your house, right? But there is like, there is something strengthening about that, about being able to, looking down the barrel, right? And also the Tao talks about never being afraid, right? This is another example of that, right? Really what a lens is, it probably, for some people, probably feels like, would imagine like Leonardo DiCaprio, or like, where's some of the other actors? The Joker, or Heath Ledger, or those some of them guys I identified with as a self-sabotaging artist for a while, and but I've changed a lot since then. So, and that's the best part, because you can change always and forever, right? And in the end, you always got to do it for you, right? As clingy as that sounds, right? You got to do it for yourself. It's number one, and look, I've been here in California for a while. Like, I do miss my kids, but it's like, I feel like I got to continue to go on this journey so we can be good in life, right? Obviously, so I can be good, right? Financially, right? Financially, through health, through wealth, through relationships, through higher purpose, right? That you got to do that for yourself, and so I think that's the key that starts the engine, right? That's the key that starts the engine, right? That's the key that starts the engine, right? So, and again with the higher purpose thing, it's just kind of just doing those things consistently over a period of time, right? And so, and also doing one for the individual, which is, me or you, and then you. And then also the second part is being able to be coachable in a group, right? Being able to understand instructions through a group, right? In that way, right? So, those two gray areas, right? Doing it right now. Doing it right now, right? Doing it right now. The voice of Zack.